Another morning, another Walmart parking lot. Hello adventurers and welcome back to my channel. Yesterday got a little off the rails. I went and did a video and then I was on my way to go shoot another location and I ended up on the world's worst road and it was really terrible. And after that I was going to go to Casper, Wyoming, and I had a whole plan to stay at this campsite, and then after I read the reviews a bit more, I realized that campsite was going to be just as rough as the road that I had gone on. And I was like, I don't know if I want to do that again. So instead, I was looking at alternative options and found a Flying J, only to realize that it was the world's smallest Flying J. Once I got there, there was like one parking place for vans and it was already taken. And then I looked at Walmarts in Casper and they all have no parking signs because apparently people have been just being terrible. And so I opted to pivot and I ended up in Laramie, Wyoming. Now, I can only assume, if you are familiar with Laramie, that you know that's quite a ways away. Oh, but it definitely was. It definitely was super far away. Super far away. In fact, later on in the afternoon when I started driving over here, I realized just how far that was. And I realized I was not going to be able to make it to a campsite before dark. And after the day I had yesterday, driving on the world's bumpiest road, I just opted to come to the Walmart for a one night stay. But I do have a campsite that I'm going to go to today, and I'm very excited about it. But first, we have some other things to talk about because other things have also slipped off the rails. It's been weird around here, guys. It's been real weird. So initially, my goal was Laramie to Cheyenne. But then I was going to go into Colorado. And that's where it now gets weird. There's a fire in Loveland. A really big fire. Right in the area that I was going to be going, because I was going to be returning to two locations that I have not been to since my very first trip to Colorado. And I was planning on filming those and sharing them with you because those videos are older, they don't really do it justice. And I wanted you to have these great videos of this amazing town and all that's in it. However, fire kind of changes that a little bit. So now I have to figure some things out, and in doing so, that's going to really change kind of how I travel. So let's figure this out. What I mean by let's figure this out, that means I have to figure out which route I'm taking, which is going to be the safest and most responsible, and when I'm planning on taking that route. So I think what I'm going to do is today, I'm just going to go and explore Laramie. I'm going to have a good time. I'm going to do regular adventures. And then at some point, I'm going to sit down with some internet and figure out what's safe, what's responsible, and what's the best. And that may be still going in the same direction, just not going into Loveland. But it may also look like a different path altogether, in which case, where does that path begin? I am kind of in a good place though, because I'm in Laramie, because Laramie can drop straight down into Colorado, and it would be a very similar path to what I took on my way up here. So do I just do that and then avoid? Possibly. But I do want to get all the information first, so at some point, I'll be sitting down and figuring that out, looking at some fire maps, looking at some predictive fire maps, because that kind of gives you an idea as to where the smoke is going. And I guess I'll get an idea. Again, I'm not in any rush. I have some time, so I want to really explore this area first, but I do need to wrap my head around what is out there so that I don't end up driving blindly into something that could put me in harm's way, or worse, make me part of the problem. So that's on the agenda also. Is that a today thing? Maybe. Is that a tomorrow thing? Also maybe. I don't know. But what I do know is that I need to figure out where I'm going today first. I think I'm going to the territorial prison here. They have a really cool old territorial prison that I've seen every time I've come through. It is open. I've already checked. And so maybe I get on the road and start there. I do know it's going to be pretty interesting over the next few days though, figuring out all of this, because normally whenever I'm driving around, I check the fire map and I kind of navigate around, but fires are popping up right and left in all directions. And I have already seen the worst side of some of those. Being further away, I've seen the smoke. driving toward, I've been deterred because the fires were physically moving toward where I was going. And I don't want any part of that. I don't want to have to pack up in the middle of the night and flee because all of a sudden the fire pivots and I'm in the middle of it. I also don't want to wake up feeling like my entire face is just like drowning because of the smoke and feeling like my lungs can't do what they need to do. So getting away from fire is always going to be my paramount item of interest. It doesn't matter if I want to go do something in an area. If there is a fire nearby, I'm just going to go on the safe side versus the sorry side. And I think that more of us should do that, because if we're driving to an area that already has limited resources or limited people out there that can work on the issue, we become the problem. And I don't ever want to do that. Of course, I'm going to start off my day smelling nice today. And I'm less wrinkled than I was yesterday, so I think that's a big win. I already put my face sunscreen on, and I put it on my face and my neck because your girl is pale and doesn't want to burn. Today is a floof day. I might even turn today into a Planet Fitness day a little bit later into the day, depending on if I'm warm. That way I can cool off a little bit. I love that. There's a Planet Fitness here in Laramie. And of course I have a black card. So if you're looking for showers whenever you're doing van life, Planet Fitness, I will say they're not everywhere, but whenever you find them, it's like, oh, we're here. And who knows, maybe I'll even sit in one of those massage chairs because my back has been killing me. We're on our way. Looking like smooth sailing so far. And it's not that far away, only about 5 miles. Okay, I'm here. Oh, it's bright. And I sat in the van for just a few minutes doing some comment responses and some emails and letting my batteries charge. And now it's time to go and explore. Okay guys, I just got back to the van. That was incredible. I was so excited by that. I was so excited that I actually was texting my friend Charles because they're getting ready for their event that's going on, and I was giving him some like feedback on a scavenger hunt that they're working on because I had some ideas. And so while I was talking to him, I was like, oh my gosh, you have to come here. Like, this is that kind of place. Like, you have to come here. It's one of the more interesting like prisons that I've been to, just because they have such interesting history here. For example, this is the only place that they know that Butch Cassidy was ever incarcerated. And so there's a whole story here just about Butch Cassidy. So if you are interested in Western history or territorial history or Wyoming or just something interesting to do, watch tomorrow's video. It is definitely interesting. In the meantime, I am working on scheduling some things, trying to figure out in my mind kind of where I am, what's going on, what I need to do, and how many days that I actually have, so I can figure out that route toward Colorado. Again, don't know what that's going to look like. And in the meantime, I'm kind of having a struggle bus. You know, guys, I have back issues, and every so often it just like flares up. And a few days ago, like, I had a little bit of a hitch in my giddy up. It was right before I went to Charles and Tony's, and I stepped down weird, and when I did, it kind of, okay, that tweaked it just a little bit. So I've been kind of nursing it back to health ever since. But today I woke up and I was like, today it's a little more sore. It was getting better, and now it's kind of not. So I don't know if it was because I was just driving nonstop yesterday or what, but we're about to put some icy hot on to make it not so owie. Okay, slight change of plans. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and go take a shower, and then after I take a shower, I'm gonna go to camp. I don't have to rush. I can be in Laramie for a few days. My back is really hurting though today, so I think that I'm just gonna go and just kind of hang out at camp and see if I can't get stretched out, do some different kind of like yoga stretching and stuff like that. But I'm also gonna go to Safeway. And I figure if I go to Safeway, I can pick up some things that I can make, and then I can just go out to camp and I can cook and maybe get to feeling better a little bit. Because, you know, it's not that it's a bad day, because I've had a great day. I've done a lot of stuff already, but, you know, every so often you just gotta stop That means I gotta go pack my bag real quick and get my clothes, and then I'll go inside, take my shower, and then Safeway's literally in the same parking lot. That's why I chose Safeway. And I may end up just topping off at Safeway also, because I have to go down the road a little bit, and there's not a gas station that is over by my campsite, so I might as well be full of fuel for my tomorrow day stuff. Woo, feel better, kind of. Back still hurts a little bit, but feeling a little bit better. Okay. So I did that chair for a bit. That helped a little. I was going to do the water table also, but I decided not to. Took a hot shower, stretched, feeling a bit better. I thought about like working out a little bit to like move that like part of my body a little bit, but it still hurts. So I decided that would be a bad idea. I'd probably end up injuring myself worse. So yeah, instead of doing that, I'm just gonna go to Safeway. It'll be fine. Okay, it's time to lock up. So we'll close the door, lock up. Okay, I got some things. I got some things to make some air fried tofu and some ramen, because I like to put my air fried tofu in ramen. It just gives it a good textural element. And then I also got some stuff to go with some gnocchi. So I have 2 good meals planned out. I have a lot of other stuff that I can use, but I wanted to get those 2 things because I was just craving something a little bit different. So one of those 2 things is what I'm going to cook tonight. In the meantime, I'm just tired. I was just wandering around the store like do. Okay, I'm finished. $28.41. I'm gonna scan that into Fetch in a little while. I did about $39 worth of damage at the grocery store. So I am donezo today. I'm super donezo. I've already pulled up my map, so I know where my campsite is. It shouldn't take me very long to get there, but I am just ready to relax. Okay, about 8.5 miles to our location. This location I've actually camped at once before when we were on our way to the Wind River Rally. Dee and Riley and I stayed here, and then the Lost Renegades actually were staying in this area too, and the Bus Life Pirates, so that was pretty cool. Yeah, so we all ended up camping at the same place, and it's a really nice place. So whenever I was coming back through this area, I was like, let me go there again. I liked that area, but I do not remember if it had cell service. So I'm crossing my fingers. I'm crossing them real hard right now. Okay, this might not look terrible, but this is like drop off after drop off after drop off, and this is much worse than when we were here last time. So what I'm trying to do is back down to a safe place so I can pull out onto the vegetation and get myself out of here. Since the last time that we stayed here, they have had a lot of washout, and it's not good. It's not good. It's very bad. And so because of that, they've basically tried to cut a new path, but the new path is also not good. So yeah. For context, this used to be a nice, flat, smooth road. It's now like one ditch after another ditch after another ditch, all of runoff that has flowed down and just dug these huge ruts. And because of that, all of this stone that used to be on the path, it's now just like forming all of these like drop-offs and stuff like that, which by itself wouldn't be so bad, except for you drop off into like one of these ruts. Yeah, so that's not great. It could have been caused from just use of the roadway. It could have been caused from time, water, excessiveness. I don't know, but some of these are really, really bad. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna look to see if there's a path to anywhere else out here. If not, I'm gonna have to go back to the Walmart, which is not gonna be fun. Oh, but I can hear the road high centering my van just a little bit because of the washout. This is not great. Again, like this is the old road right here. That's all gone now, all of it. So this is in the Medicine Bow National Forest. This was off of Happy Jack Road. And as you can see, it's not as friendly as it was. if I had higher clearance, it might not be that big of a deal, or if I had a 4-wheel drive. But right now, it's not that good. So just slow and steady wins the race down the hill again. There is a path that cuts through up into that direction. I don't know if I should explore it or not. Maybe. The road doesn't look as bad that way, and it looks like it's not soft. So it might be okay. Oh, I really want to stay out here, but I also don't want to put myself in harm's way. I don't know. I don't know if you're supposed to go over there or not either. Oh, so this is what it looks like. Clearly people have driven it. It's kind of bumpy, but it's not near as bumpy as the other place. There's some rogue rocks and stuff like that. I mean, technically, I guess I could stay up there, but I don't know. It's not where I wanted to camp. It's gonna be more exposed here to the wind. My goal was to get up to the top, and there's this recess that has these beautiful trees. It has good service, I think. I'm pretty sure it did last time. It's right next to a tower. It's a really cool spot. I don't want to stay just exposed in the sun. That's gonna make the van way too hot. If I'm gonna do that, I might as well just go to Walmart, which is, yeah. Especially with this wind. You know, that's the bad part sometimes. It's like, sometimes you come back to a campsite and things are completely different. Sometimes you come to a campsite and it's closed. Sometimes you come to a campsite and it's trashed. Sometimes you come to a campsite and the road is no longer a good road. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I'm gonna figure this out, and I'll talk to you guys about it tomorrow after I get it all together. But remember, guys, we're not here for a long time, but we are here for a good time. I'm not having the best of time right now. But my day started out great, and it's gonna end great. I just gotta figure out what that's gonna look like. So I'm gonna do some more eye overlanding and figure this out. But for now, I'm gonna let my hair dry. I'm gonna hang out. I might walk this road in a minute to see if it takes me to any kind of trees, because it does look like it goes up there, but it looks like it stops before the trees. We'll see what happens. Till next time. Bye.